question for today that we have is, how can I get more yeses on my sales calls? Well, we're going to dive into that today. But first, make sure you tap the bell and subscribe below, guys, so you never miss an episode or the opportunity to learn some simple sales strategies to take your leads from cold to close and finally master sales online. I'm Keaney, and I'm a sales ninja and marketing mentor for high-achieving female coaches and VAs who want to ditch hustle and they want to have six-figure scale in their online businesses by mastering their sales skills. So today, how can you get more yeses on your sales calls? I actually have two ways that I want to share with you that you can get more yeses on your sales calls. So first of all, guys, one of my first tips for you is to get people on the phone that can actually afford you. So get people on the phone that can invest. A lot of times, and I say this with great love, right, and respect, but a lot of times we are out there, and what I see in the industry is we're booking calls with everyone and anyone willing to get on the phone with us. The problem with this is you don't know who you're getting on the phone with. The problem is they're not qualified. Number one, if you're speaking to people that can't afford to invest, or they're not willing to invest, or they're not willing to find the money to invest, then you're stacking the deck against you, because you're always going to hear an objection. You're always going to hear no. You're always going to hear a money objection. You're always going to hear an excuse. You're eventually going to start thinking, my gosh, maybe my prices are too high. Maybe my work is not worth this much. Maybe I need to lower my price. Maybe I'm not valuable enough. Maybe I need to give them more. Maybe I need to do more. Like, you're going to literally start to think it's you. Right? So the first thing is that you really need to be getting into conversations with people who can afford you. People that are willing to invest. Now, a lot of times there's people that don't have money, but they will find the money, right? It's all the mentality. It's not so much about who has money and who doesn't, but it's who's willing to invest. You can have people that get on a call with you and say, look, I don't have the money and I'm not sure how I'm going to come up with it, but I'm going to go find it. I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do this. That's great, right? That is probably someone who's really committed. But there's also a lot of people out there that are not going to do that. There's a lot of people out there that are going to say, I don't have the money. I can't find the money. I'm not willing to find the money. I'm not going to do it, right? Those are not the people you should be in a sales conversation with. Those are people that you want to continue to nurture and serve through your free content. But these are not people you want to be in a sales conversation with, because it doesn't matter what you say or do. You cannot convince someone to do something that they're not willing, ready, able to do, right? So you want to first make sure that you are actually getting on the phone with people who have money to invest or are willing to find the money to invest. Like, they are literally investors, okay? Not people that are not going to be able, willing, or ready to do that. You're literally stacking the deck against you when you do that. Okay, so that's number one. Talk to people that have the ability and the willingness to invest. Number two, qualify people, right? I see this a lot. Like in the industry, it's like, okay, what did you do? Like, where did that person come from? How did they get to the call with you? Or how did they get in that conversation with you? And you don't know. You're like, oh, I don't know, like, where they even came from. Or I don't know who I'm even getting on the phone with. I don't even know, like, what their problem is, what their challenge is. I have no idea, right? Part of the problem is you don't have a qualification process in place. So this is the second thing. You've got to have a strong qualification process in place that is going to make sure that you have some questions answered by this person and you get to qualify them. You get to say yes or no if you want to spend your time getting on the phone with them, if they're a good fit, if they're the right type of person, if this is someone that you actually want in your program. You've got to figure out what is the problem that they have and what is the solution that they want. And can I help them? Is this even something I can or want to do? Sometimes you can help them, but it's not necessarily what you want to be doing. You want to know this. You want to be in congruency with the people that you're getting on the phone with. So just as much as they need to be ready, willing, and able to invest, you need to be ready, willing, and able to actually support them. Okay, so it's a two-way street, and you want to make sure that you have a qualification process, whether it's a series of questions on an application, or maybe it's a series of like little mini steps that you have them go through just to kind of, confirm they are interested, or some kind of pre-conversation, whether it's with you or your sales team. There needs to be some kind of qualification that is bringing the right people in, and that you're giving your time and energy to the right people. So your messaging needs to be clear. This is a sales call. Here's what we're doing. Here's who it's for. This is actually going to be a call to discuss working together. And then maybe there's an application or some kind of form where there's a series of questions that's going to tell you that this is your yes client. This is your dreamy client. This is your soul client. This is absolutely the person that you can help, that you want to help. You want them in your program. You want to work with them. And you know that they are the type of people that will get the win, right? They are invested. They are committed. They're doing this with or without you. And you're not going to know that if there's not a qualification process or some kind of conversation before you ever get on the phone. So I know that in the industry, there's a lot of coaches out there that are going to tell you, get on the phone with anyone willing to get on the phone with you. We'll talk about that in another episode here. But you want to be getting on the phone with people that are going to stack the deck in your favor and that is going to be valuable for you and that person to spend that time together. If you want conversions and you want yeses on your sales conversations, it starts by getting the right type of people on the phone and qualifying those people to make sure so that when you both get on that phone, you're there for the same exact reasons. Okay. So those are my 2 top tips for getting more yeses on your calls. Go ahead and look into your system and see what you have in place, where you have room for improvement, or what you could change or shift just a little bit to increase your conversions, starting with your next sales call. And I will see you on another PETV episode.